Hello everyone, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. I want to share a lot of articles, and what I've decided to do was there's a lot of them. I decided to take the ones that support, what I've been saying in regards to the gender war, which is sad and pathetic. Now this one I want to start off and talk about, because these bitches on the talk, want to talk their nonsense about chivalry, even though they're matriarchs, even though they don't believe in male leadership. They believe, women want to run stuff. They want to have their cake and they eat it too. They want that. They want to be like men. Have the mindset and the mentality of a man. They want to think like men, even though they don't think like men. They want the rights, the freedoms, and the power to be a man. And then they want the rights, benefits, and privileges and liberations of being a woman. But they don't want the responsibility of either side. Basically, they want to have their cake and eat it too. Ex-NBA star accuses restaurant of racial bias. Atlanta. Federal jury is hearing a lawsuit filed by a retired NBA All-Star who claimed a ritzy Atlanta restaurant discriminated against him and a friend when waiters insisted that they give up their seats to two Caucasian women. Now, I noticed they said something different than what I read, but I don't call these bitches white. If you look up the definition, there's no such thing as a white woman, right? Let alone white race, nor black race. These are made up titles and labels by another parasite human being. John Barry Carroll played parts of 10 NBA seasons in the NBA for several teams in the 1980s. He and attorney Joseph Shaw are suing the Tavern at Phillips when they tried to prove during the trial that began Monday that the restaurant has a systematic plan to discourage black patrons. I will say this: although he filed a lawsuit and he might have felt he was in the right because it was racial, he also forgot that he's a man too. Where he should have sued because of the fact that he was a man, just misinjury alone. But let me go on. Basically, he should have sued for the fact that it was sexism as well. He should have had a combination. The two men who are black said that they were removed by security guards when they refused to leave their seats. The restaurant has said it often asks men to give up their seats to women at the bar and has denied the discrimination accusations. Carroll the first overall pick by the Golden State Warriors in 1980, has also played for the Houston Rockets, New Jersey Nets, Denver Nuggets, and Phoenix Suns. Purdue, the Purdue University star, averaged 77 under 18 points a game over his career and made the All-Star game in 1987. So basically, if I go into an establishment, I got it, and somebody, one of the owners, the staff, the employees, whoever, I gotta give up my seat for two stinky, nasty, diseased, roaming around with that foul odor smell of a cunt. I gotta give up my seat for a cunt. When the fact of the matter is, I paid to get in. But did she have to pay to get in the restaurant? Now, normally in the club setting, the women don't have to pay, at a certain time. That's right, because last time I checked, I thought these bitches wanted to be fucking equal. Now, if there were two women sitting at where they were sitting, and let's just say that the employees, the security guards, asked these two females, let's just say, turn around. Let's say it was. What happened if they were like so-called African American women sitting there, mind their own business, and the employees of the restaurant and the staff asked them to give up their seats for two Caucasian men. Now, would that be considered sexist? Yes, we interpret it as that, and obviously we interpret it as racial too. But when it happens in reverse, no, it's like this is free-flowing policy that these made-up bullshit-ass rules that these establishments do to make money. And the only reason why they actually force men to get off their fucking seats for two bitches, because they got a hole between their legs, because of the fact that it's about money. They bring as many bitches as they can for the interest. So a lot of you pussy whip males, you vaginas, can come up in that restaurant, come up in that pub, and spend their money and buy these bitches drinks and buy them food, even though these bitches at the same time want to talk about they got a degree and they got this and they got that. Actually, it was some other guy that gave it to him, but I was just being sarcastic. Oh, I got my own place, I got my own car, all this nonsense. When I mean, really. The bulk of you women talk about how strong and independent you are, and all this, and all what you have. Like, we're supposed to just respect you for stuff that you want respect for stuff that you're supposed to do, or what men have done, traditionally have done. Talk about you got your degree. Talk about you got your house and you got your car and all this stuff. If you, it's like, most of y'all had help. You didn't do it by yourself. You either had an ex-husband and you inherited it, and you took his stuff away from him because you're that evil. Your parents helped you out. Somebody in the family, a friend, the government. some kind of support system. You got hooked up, but you want to talk about what you did by yourself. It's hilarious. Your boyfriend or some guy that you suckered, punched, that you scanned your way to the top. You fucked and sucked your way to the top. I mean, society caters to women, and it's made it so that more of y'all would be in the workforce, and men would be, they outsource our jobs. They kick the man out the home. They don't care if the guy's homeless. So this is in the making of female privilege. Your so-called hard work has been rigged. Because a man is allowing you to do these things. Okay? Now there's places where I don't understand. You ask a girl to give up her seat, you're gonna catch hell. I don't know why the situation can't be done in reverse. And the fact is, it's not even respectful. You wait out in line for these bars, restaurants, clubs, pubs. You pay your money, the bitch don't have to pay a damn thing. But you're expected to treat her like a lady when she's a feminist. And do all the chivalry shit. I just love it how the talk left out a lot of critical information. Because they're two Caucasian women. So two men of color, two black men are supposed to just give up their seat because we got some Caucasian, pale, piggish, stinky hoes, disease-ridden cunts roaming the establishment, and you're supposed to do all the chivalrous shit when these bitches want equal rights, right? They want equality. If you want your seat, you're gonna have to wait until somebody finishes and get done, like everybody else. But these establishments don't do that. They treat the man like shit. They cater to women like they're spoiled princesses for the purpose of more pussy whipped vaginas. And I put the blame on men. Can come up in the establishment and spend their hard-earned money, but the bitch don't have to spend nothing because the bitch is gonna get free shit because she pussy whipped vaginas, formerly known as manginas, but we just took the man out because there's no man in having a vagina. Because guys have gotten so bitch made. I mean it was bad. It was bad in the 70s. It was always bad. Even in the 1950s era, so you saw a lot of bitch assness from a lot of males in Western society. And even before then, there was a lot of bitch assness. But it just got worse. And then the 70s. Oh, because a lot of guys fell for that women liberation movement when women were promiscuous. But the fact is, they were practicing their eugenics. And a lot of men, they didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. They didn't focus on their priorities and got their life together. They didn't get their shit together, so they forsake their manhood to compensate for the fact that they didn't have no resources. They didn't accomplish nothing because they were out chasing pussy instead of focusing on their business. Then you got moms telling their sons to be bitches, to be simps, to be pussy whipped, and spoiled And just be good to a bitch who ain't gonna be good to him back. Telling him basically all women are deserving of respect and honor the mother of the earth and all this others nuts and berries nonsense. Respect thy mother. What if my mom was not respectful to me and she treated me like shit? Oh, fuck! I honor thy mother, thy father. When you kick thy father out of his own home because you didn't want to be controlled, but you're gonna let a crazy ass government control you and the banks control and oppress you, the system, which makes no sense, but that's how retarded these hoes are. I mean, so a lot of men got duped, and because a lot of men, because of the fact that they wanted, because women had more power after the feminist movement, especially when it came to picking who they wanted to pick. Being being the honest, caring guy, doing the right thing, was not rewarded. Because women cater to their lust. They have to be in lust. They have to go by looks. And truth of the matter is, if you don't have looks, you can't even have a good. You can't even develop. You can't even develop a good personality. You can't have no substance behind the looks. You can't even develop character. You're not judged based on the deeds that you do and the decisions that you make and the choices that you make and how intelligent you are. You're based off the looks, stats, fame, money. What are women judged by? None of those things. Even if the bitch is judged by looks. Truth of the matter is, she got a vagina. And she can use it anytime she wants. Yes, she may have to work. Some women have to work harder than others, and because they're not beautiful to society standards, now they have to develop a personality. But a lot of them don't have no personality. A lot of them, the average girl, just has the same entitlement issues as the pretty girl. They're all shallow, all superficial, all gold diggers. Think a guy owes them a living. The guy got to do it all. And they always to say that every time a man has a valid complaint, they always say, you're picking the wrong girl. When the fact is the guy don't have no pick. Oh, it's your circle. Be positive. When the fact of the matter is, when this is coming from a female who doesn't have to do nothing in the dating scene. She can sit back and take her pick. I guess she can feel positive because she's getting what she wants. She's not being denied nothing. She's not being treated like crap. Because if a guy, some other man, disrespects her, some other dude will check him. Not only that, women have the feminist regime to protect them. And they got the elites, the government, to protect them. The bankers, to protect them. Women are the most protective group. They're the most protected. The men are not protected. They're the most vulnerable group who's more likely to get killed, get harmed, be taken advantage of, be raped. Yes, you can, yes, physically, but more emotionally, psychologically, and mentally, and financially, most notably financially raped. Be more likely to be wrongfully arrested, be a victim of false accusations when it comes to a woman crying false rape, paternity fraud. You're held at ransom. They take your child away. But she's not even fit to be a parent. She thinks you owe her a living, and she gets alimony. You're better off just getting a prostitute and leaving. Don't have a relationship. Don't go on a date. Just you just pay your prostitute down the street. Do the nasty and just get on moving. I mean, that's what you have to do now. I mean, it's cheaper to get a prostitute than it is to get with an ordinary female. At least get with an ordinary parasite female who will treat you like dirt because she thinks that she's superior to you. Female supremacy. Anyway, I want you to watch these bitches talk shit about this case, and they want to talk about chivalry.
That's right, my motto.
Here's a question for everyone out there. Is chivalry dead?
No.
I would say no. I was expecting guys to go, yes.
Me too.
Well, let me tell you, it is not dead in Atlanta. Listen to this story. Back in 2006, former NBA star Joe Barry Carroll and his friend were forced to leave a bar because they refused to give up their seats for two women, even after being enticed by free drinks from bar management. And that's when management escorted them out. Well, these two men sued, and last week, a jury decided the bar was right.
Oh my gosh. I think that's great. Chivalry is absolutely dead at my house.
In your house?
Yeah. Bruce would not hold a door open or pull out a chair. I mean, he walks out the door and it slams in my face. He's like, out the door, in the car, honking, come on, honey, we're late.
Oh, that's 25 years of marriage.
Yeah, well, that 20 years of marriage and a little dating, but it's a guy who's been taken care of. Everyone's holding the door open for Bruce, so he's like, he forgets about me. It's horrible.
Aww.
I know.
How old was he when he...
26.
Oh, so since
26 years old. Yeah, when we go to a restaurant, like we took 14 people to dinner the other night, and the check comes, and he's like, I'm like, the check, and so I always pay the check. He hates to pay the bill at a restaurant. It's just like, hates it.
What?
I mean, he doesn't,
he has short arms?
paying for it.
I thought he had alligator arms.
No.
But
Once I pay, he just doesn't want. What is that?
No, I thought, there are certain guys who have alligator arms. They're like, I can't get my wallet. You mean he's forget? Okay, no, I'm clearing the air.
So the bar was right. So it was right to be sexist. And I would say racist as fuck. So if we turn that situation around, there are two men at the bar. I don't know how many women actually. So two men were at the bar, and two female, and they're looking for a seat. And the staff offers these two women drinks so they can get off their fat ass, so the guys can have a seat. And then women refuse to. And then they're thrown out the bar. Basically, they were not escorted. They were thrown out the bar because they were causing trouble because of the fact that they didn't want to give up the seat to a guy. Would that be sexist? No, you would say the bar is wrong. And then these bitches on the talk about chivalry. Wait a minute, I thought these bitches were strong and independent. I thought you got your own this and you got your own that from another guy because he gave it to you. Because there's systems and laws and programs in place to get it like that. I mean, you have to go from another guy to get those resources. I thought you believe in equality. Oh, but you still want to have female privilege. All that chivalry bullshit is a privilege, ladies. It's not a right. The only thing that's a right is for you to be your own individual, your own person, and to set the standard and how you choose to be in life and how you choose to behave and act and what you want to believe in. You treat people the way you want to be treated, you get treated a certain way back. You treat people a certain way, you get something you will get. If you treat others with respect, then you will get respect back. If you don't get respect back, fuck them and move the fuck on. Just move the hell on. fuck them and forget them and move on. Don't complain about it. Just if they don't want to return the favor, forget them and leave. Just leave them be. Tell them to fuck off. You don't want to have nothing to do with them because they're not contributing. They're not doing what you're giving them. They're not willing to give back what you put out for them. They're not giving you what you invest in them. You're giving them stuff. You're treating them the way you want to be treated, but they don't want to give anything back. They just want to take. So they don't want to, because it's about give and take. So they just want to take from you, and they do not want to return the favor with good graces. So fuck them and move the hell on. That's how that goes. So you want women to talk about chivalry? Well, what's chivalrous for what women do? Tell me. I got a question. And can somebody forward this video to the talk? Send them this video and have them answer my question. I doubt that I'll get an honest response. What is chivalry for women to do unto men? Because every time when we as men say women are expected to do this and that, we expect women to do this and that, we're called sexist and we're called male chauvinist pigs. By default, she's a female chauvinist pig herself, because you want to call a guy sexist when you're the one who's really sexist. And equality, like I said before, and like I said in the past, a man doesn't owe you a living. Now, if you cannot support yourself and take care of yourself, you're pathetic. Yes, I understand people go through bad times and stuff happen where they can't, do it by themselves. But you're saying you can do it by yourself. And this Kardashian bitch, with the daughters who made sex tapes to get famous. These spoiled little brats. Think about it. These feminists, they are feminists. They are matriarchal females. The mama's, mommy Kardashian. Who has two daughters. Who are, very highly promiscuous, high maintenance, selfish, spoiled little bitches. Who thinks that the world should worship them. And I wish guys would just stop kissing these bitches' asses. Stop entertaining them. They think that you should just worship and grovel at their feet. Which, I wouldn't mind doing it. I mean, they got sexy feet, if you want to talk about fetishism. But they're not talking about that. They're talking about men being a slave, and the guy got to do this and that. And I love it when women brag about, well, I paid for dinner. When I was on the date, I paid for dinner. When the fact of the matter is, these bitches did that, in a way to come to show out, to try to hide the fact that they're a gold digger. They're just trying to hide the fact. I mean, you don't even know what the situation was or the setting was. I mean, if you're gonna do something nice for somebody, treat somebody, or you decide to pick up the tab, it's no big deal. Men pick up the tab, even though sometimes we're not supposed to. We don't throw it in their faces. Well, you owe me because I did this and that one time. What about all the other times that men have done this for you and done that for you? The day you do something nice for a guy, out of the 100 things, 1 out of 100, you want to talk about that and harp on that. The time that you paid for dinner. Oh my God, we should give you a medal. That's a cynical way of thinking. Talk about, it's like the attitude, well, I shouldn't be doing this, I should be catered to, and all that stuff, but she ain't doing no catering to the guy. The guy got to just do all the catering, but she don't have to return the favor. It's just narcissism and that false entitlement. The narcissism, the narcissism, and this false sense of entitlement is the reason why I do what I do. And then they wonder why they call us the bitter men. I mean the woman haters. When the fact of the matter is the way they treat men, the majority of men, who are kind to them, kind, respectful, polite, they treat us like crap. And then they reject us and stereotype us out with these high expectations. But these same females want them. They want the guy to like them for who they are, what's on the inside. But they don't want to. They don't want to practice what they preach. They want you to do all that, but they don't want to. They feel they don't have to look at what's in the inside, judge a man by his character, his morals and ethics. They don't care about that stuff. They care about whether you're attractive or not, and how much money you have, and how much drama you can give them, and how much you're willing to take the blame for everything they do that goes wrong in their life, and what they cause them gonna run stuff, so they can charge you with manhood. It's the reason why these bitches wonder why they wonder why they end up dead.
That is a good one. I was gonna say you seem like the type to me that would be the boss. Like you're kind of like the man.
I know. I kind of am. I kind of am.
Like
Bruce
you would
is
run
like
the show.
he's like the house husband. He's the he's Mr. Mom, and I'm I work and I kind of take control, and I'm a control freak. Yeah. So I don't mind whipping out my credit card, but I think I want to teach my son how to be the perfect gentleman. I think that's so sexy.
Yeah.
A man. Don't you guys?
Yeah.
Pull out a chair and...
Yeah, I mean, I'm of two minds. It's like, I want to think like, oh, women can do it on their own and women are strong and all this kind of stuff. But then, like, yesterday Mario Lopez was here and he's cute, but I just never really, like, thought about him or whatever. And then he came out and he pulled my chair out and I was like, oh my God, I love Mario.
It makes you feel so special.
I
want to teach my son Nolan 6 and my daughter Stella 7, and I want to teach them I want to teach him to order for her like the lady will have. And I love when if a young lady gets up to go to the bathroom, I like when the gentleman stands by the table. So I really want to teach that to my little boy.
And I don't even feel like I taught it so much, but for some reason Levi seems to have it inside him. Like if Sawyer's in a parking lot or going towards the door of a store, he's like, no, he's like gets very gentlemanly about it and holds her back. It's really
it's
sweet.
in his DNA.
Yeah.
I feel that way with, I don't think chivalry is dead, but I think it is dying. But then every now and then I get this glimmer of hope. I think it's in the DNA of my stepson, Adam, who's 27, right? Think of your average 27-year-old kid, man, and what kind of manners they have. But every time we're in like a crowded elevator, because we're a big family, he always steps to the side and waits for me. And I always go, thank you, Adam. And he's always like, sure. And it's so cute. He's like, oh, sure. He's like, sure, no problem. And I'm like, you know what? I hope when I say something like that, it makes him feel like, you know what? I'm going to do this later today for somebody else. And it keeps chivalry alive.
Yeah. Well, I'm more afraid of chivalry because I'm not used to it. So if somebody's like, if you're opening the door for me, I'm like, so what's going on that you need me to walk through the door first? I'm kind of like, if you got my coat, then I'm like, well, why do you have my coat? And then I have $20 in my pocket. And then you definitely can't have my purse. Oh, my God. I'm like, ooh, he's stolen something or looking, because, and then by the time the guy gets out the car and walk around the car door, it's like, you a little late. I'm already in the restaurant ordering appetizers. I'm like, you're too slow. So maybe I need to get used to a man treating me a certain way without me being suspicious of crime occurring.
It's hysterical.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. They want the hybrid, on point, vagina simp. They want the perfect pussy whipped male slave. Talk about chivalry. My question is, what is chivalry for females? What can they do chivalrous for men? Nothing. And they always said, if you're good to women and all that stuff, and you'll be treated with respect and honor. No, you won't. No, they'll just take advantage of you, and then they'll go for the guy who will treat them like crap. I'm not saying you have to treat women like crap to get them to like you, because that's just feeding into more of their power. Or you gotta be a fucking bum, not having your stuff together, so a girl can be comfortable or dumb it down, because at the end you're still gonna lose, and she's gonna charge you with manhood, like I said earlier. Now, not only that, she got the cards, she got the power, she got more power. I make all the money, I run stuff, I can run him. But the fact of the matter is, you can't run no man. I mean, you wouldn't be able to if the laws ain't on your side, if the court systems aren't on your side. And the fact of the matter is, when they talk about chivalry, they're talking about keeping female privilege alive from chivalry, because they don't want a guy to be patriarchal. They just want him to be a little bit patriarchal, but in the confines and rules and regulations and the laws, actually the walls that the man is pinned up against by the matriarchy system. It's all about the matriarchy. Anything that complements the matriarchy. Because they don't want no traditional man. They don't want to go back to that time. That's sexist, like you always say. No, I don't want no man having no power over me. I mean, like I said before, you stop at a red light, right? You stop at the red light. You understand that, right? You obey the laws of the land that are written by men at the top. You have a license. You have licenses to do anything. You don't have a right to do anything. So I like to know you letting the government control you, but you don't. I'd rather have the man control me than the government. Because when the government controls me, I'm fucked. I mean, at least in a time when men were independent from government, the government couldn't take control of the people like they are taking control of now. That's how I look at it. You gotta register your house, your cars, and you're forced to have insurances. And then when stuff happens, the insurance company fucks you over. It makes a ton of money, and you get table scraps. And actually, when you think about it, you're paying more than what you get back. You're just better off not having it and just paying and being in debt, being better off. Same with credit. You got credit. Then now, guess what? They're getting you with interest and getting you with hidden fees and conning you, and they can make the rules up as they go along. And women want to talk about freedom. They're not free. They're actually just going to their own grave. Now, staying on subject, women they want the perfect pussy-lipped slave. They want the hybrid. They want a guy to handle his responsibilities and handle the female responsibilities of the female role, but he has no power. He's devoid of all leadership. Women can have the best of both worlds. Yeah, like I said before, they get to have the power and the rights and freedoms to be a man. And then they switch up, and then they get to reap the benefits of being a woman and having the liberations and the rights and privileges of being a woman. But they don't want the responsibility of that aside. So, in a nutshell, it's about maintaining female privilege. It's about what benefits them. They want all power and no responsibility. And they want the man to do it all. They don't want to give out nothing. They just want to hand it to them. What can women do chivalrous to guys, to men? They don't want to be. If you tell a woman to do traditional things, you're sexist. Oh, but if she decides to do it, oh, it's okay now. So she can play both. she can get the best of both worlds. She gets the, like I said, reap the benefits of being a woman while acting like a man. And thanks to matriarchy, she's liberated. You can't tell her nothing. She gets rights. Now she gets special, specifically womanly rights and female privileges. And then at the other side, she gets to have all the power of being a man and the rights and the freedoms that come with being a man. But no responsibility on either side. No responsibility, no accountability, no hardships, no pain and suffering on either side of the coin, either side of the spectrum. Women want the perfect world. They want the guy to do this and kiss their ass, but they don't care about what the guy's going through. They don't want to do nothing for the man unless they feel like it. Unless their pussy is dripping on the floor, or unless the guy has what they want. And then when you hear what the sister was saying, oh, if you do nice things, I have trust issues. So I'm like, and this is more specific when you talk about the black gender war that's going on in the black community. This gender war is going on. The gender war is going along. The gender war is happening in all racial communities, but it's in the black community. It's just so damning, so damaging. Is that if you try to do something nice, they want to say, "Oh, this ain't 1950 something." I'm like, and then, but they filed the complaint. Women filed the complaints. When you don't do the patriarchal things, or you're sexist, or you're a chauvinist, or you're a pig for being yourself. You're sexist right there, but it's okay for her to be sexist. But when you try to have a traditional race, you try to have a woman to be operate in a traditional system. No, a guy got to do this. So it goes back to the guy has to do it all. When it comes to the matriarchy, the man has to accept it. A man has no say-so in anything. Before I continue, this is chivalry. I'm going to bring it up, zoom in. Here we go. Chivalry. Right here. Noun, plural. The sum of the ideal qualifications of a knight, including courtesy, generosity, valor, and dexterity in arms. The rules and customs of medieval knighthood. The medieval system or institution of knighthood, a group of knights, gallant warriors or gentlemen. So, wait a minute, I thought we're no longer in the dark ages, ladies. So, I thought, being a traditional man was considered sexist and misogynistic, of woman hating. You understand me? I mean, I thought I was just being sexist. I mean, believing in gender roles. A lot of y'all don't believe in gender roles. Oh, but when it comes to men, it's a must. But when it comes to women being defined by their gender roles, it's considered sexist. You see that the retardation, the anarchy of this bullshit. I mean, we're not in the dark ages. You told us that traditional roles were sexist, and we're no longer in the dark ages. But here you go. Y'all bitches are hypocrites. Real talk. Man. Chivalrous. I mean, you want us to be fucking knights? You want me to wear knight gear? Killing people like and riding on a horse? I mean, y'all ain't down for that. I pull up in a horse. I ain't riding no horse. And what you wearing that get up? And and some of y'all females, You women of color, you American black women. I thought, you want to talk about chivalry. I thought, well, yeah, wait a minute, isn't that Eurocentric? Isn't chivalry being Eurocentric? All you fake ass, fraudulent, Afrocentric frauds. I mean, you talk about, it's like so backwards. People are so dumb. Well, the matriarchy, in the black community, in the Africa was in BC, it was matriarchal, which it wasn't. It wasn't. Patriarchy is Eurocentric. I'm like, people are so stupid. But chivalry, the definition I'm reading, being dressed up like a knight and terrorizing people and killing people. Oh, it's great. And it's considered Eurocentric, dressing up as a knight. I don't know how many brothers and sisters out in the motherland was dressed wearing night clothing and killing people at random and having silly ass wars. But it's beyond me. Everything just is beyond me. It's just the dumbness. It is. The origin of the word is Middle English, French, Old French. I just throw my hands up. I thought I'd share Martha Stewart for a second. And I want to show you a key fact. This proves what I know: women teaching their daughters to be sexist and practice their eugenics onto guys, onto other men. What's living with Martha Stewart like? Well, according to her daughter Alexis, it wasn't exactly all crafts and Christmas magic. Here, Martha Stewart is going to be exposed. According to the Daily Mail, Alexis is opening up about her childhood in her new book, Whatever land, learning to live here. If I don't do something perfectly, I had to do it again. I grew up with a glue gun pointed to my head. Alexis says in her new book, out October 18th of this year. Alexis is Martha's only child and a divorced mother of one. She previously co-hosted radio and TV shows. Whatever Martha, and whatever you're wrong on the Hallmark Channel, and whatever Martha. Alexis and co-host Jennifer Hutt would make fun of Martha Stewart living episodes and then cook or a complete project of episode. The domestic diva, known for all things home, wasn't exactly sensitive to the needs of a child, Alexis writes. Martha was not interested in kid-friendly, Alexis says. She used to make me wrap my own presents. She would hand me things before Christmas and say, now wrap these and don't look inside. That's a good mom. Forget the holidays. according to Alexis, where your home life wasn't very typical. It seems Martha had a penchant for using the bathroom with the door open. My mother always peed with the door open. I remember saying, you know, I have friends over. You can't do that anymore. You gotta stop. My friends' parents don't do it. Give me a break here. I don't feel like being embarrassed. It's exhausting. I'm a kid. Stop. But Alexis could always count on her home to be filled with wonderful joys of Martha's cooking, right? Well, not according to her book. There was never anything to eat in my house, she says. Other people had food. I had no food. There were ingredients, but no prepared food of any kind. Alexis writes, Martha's parenting, or lack thereof, comes from the domestic goddess. Well, you should call it Skankus. Own upbringing. One of 6 kids, Alexis says Martha grew up with nothing. So the child should suffer just like you. And that's how selfish these mothers are. And parents in general. I suffered, even though I have resources. Instead of giving you a better life, I'm going to make it harder for you. Because I'm that selfish. That was tangent. Continue. Well, talking about their neighbors, one whom was a woman who was married to a wealthy, unattractive man. Alexis says Martha gave her piece. I'll say it again. Alexis says Martha gave her this little piece of advice. My mother actually told me when I was a small child, now Alexis, if this ever happens, make sure you have sex with somebody else and have their baby. Don't have his baby. She was very practical about it, and it was a survival skill. You have someone rich and ugly who takes care of you, and have someone else who's hot and makes attractive babies with. Oh gosh, excuse me. I am going to repeat myself. My mother actually told me when I was a small child, now Alexis, if this ever happens, make sure you have sex with somebody else to have their baby. Don't have his baby. She was very practical about it. It was a survival skill. It's called eugenics. You have someone rich and ugly who takes care of you. Yeah, bitch. That's right. Tell your daughter to be a fucking prostitute and that a man owes her a fucking living. Instead of telling her to get her stuff together, get her shit together, and get on point so you can meet an on point guy. But let me finish the rest. And you have someone who's hot and makes attractive babies. Wow. You women actually are hypocrites, because I cannot recall my father telling me to, they like to say men are about looks. My father never told me, well, marry a girl, she may be unattractive and she may know how to cook and take care of you and treat you good, but have sex with the hottest girl and have her child. Have sex with the sexiest woman who's very attractive and have her baby, and then try to bring them over to your wife who's not attractive, but you can cook good and all that shit, all that stuff, and makes you happy and take care of your child. Y'all bitches are some evil, scandalous motherfuckers. And then you wonder why. This happens. You wonder why this happens. You wonder why this stuff happens. You wonder why this stuff happens. You wonder why it happens again. You create your own killer with advice like that. With advice like that and that kind of mentality, you create your own killer. That's it. You see this? Look at her. She is attractive, so, and she knew she had options. High, yellow, and attractive. Holiday shoppers at a South Carolina Walmart. In the South, there's so many Walmarts, it's unbelievable, and Kmarts. Okay. This is a confident man right here. This is about confidence. No amount of confidence, guys, will get you a woman in your life. I'm not saying you don't not to believe in yourself and have have knowledge of self and believe in oneself and trust yourself, and not to have courage. But you know, confidence. When women say they want a guy with confidence, what they're saying is they want a guy who looks good, have looks, stats, fame, and money. Lots of money, give her a fucking living, and be confident. You know, they're talking about guys that they fucking like. They're talking about a desirable guy that they find attractive to have confidence. And there's some guys, you know, who I knew were never confident, but because they had looks and resources and status, that compensated for all that confidence. So women, stop telling guys to have confidence. You might as well tell the truth that you are a shallow, gold-digging bitch. Holiday shoppers at a South Carolina Walmart watched in horror as a man stabbed his wife to death because he loved her so much. In the store during an heated argument. That's right, she had her drama, and lots of it. She started domestic violence in public. 70% of the time, plus, women initiate and start the violence, and they provoke the violence, and they strike first. As a side note, let's keep rolling. The big box retail remained open for business after a grisly slain, police and witnesses said. Avery Bolden, 46, of Simpsonville, South Carolina, is facing murder charges for brutally stabbing his wife, Leah Bendit, 38, as she worked at a bank inside the Greenville store on Saturday, cops told the local police station. Philip was shopping for Christmas lights with his family when he heard chilled screams. When I looked, I see a couple stabbing in motions and started to run towards the front. Tolan told the station, when I got up there, the man was making a stomping motion at a woman across the chest, in the neck area. then fled the scene, but cops caught up with him after he wrecked his truck during a getaway attempt, police said. Lila Baldwin died later at that local hospital. Holiday bargain hunters said they were sickened by the store and didn't close after the gruesome attack. You know why they didn't close the store? Because they didn't give a fuck. It's about money. They wanted to get their paper. That's how greedy Walmart is. I saw there was blood everywhere on the ground, on the table, and on the wall. Shopper Brittany King told WYFF it was disrespectful to the family that it happened to, especially the people and the employees who saw it happen. Greenville County deputies said it was the store's decision to stay open after police arrived and roped off the grass-laddered crime scene. We did as requested to close our grocery checkout area and allow police to work and provide some level of privacy, given the circumstances. Walmart spokeswoman Diana Gee told WYFF Baldwin is being held in the Greenville County Detention Center. Well, you know what? It's good for him because she had it coming. I know that's cold, but I really don't give a flying fuck why it's cold and inhumane and insensitive. Because when you have, bullshit domestic violence laws like this, also basically verbal abuse is now a crime, emotional abuse. Well, who suffers most emotional abuse? The men. But the problem is, you see how the guy is the villain? You see how the man is the villain? I'll take my time. Read and watch. You see, it's one-sided. This is directed towards all men. And this is my advice, to leave women the fuck alone. Boycott. They like to bring these false, they like to give you one half of the story, and they try to make the man to be the villain all the time, when it takes two people or more people to fight. And I say it takes two main people usually, and it takes a group of other people if they're witnesses and friends of either side, but chances are you have many instigators who instigate the violence because we're sick as fuck. But normally when it comes to just one, he said, she said, it's always the man's fault, even though 70% of domestic violence that is initiated by the woman and provoked. Men are the most abused and the most oppressed and depressed. You follow me. You follow me. You follow what I'm saying. Women are the most protected group and have all the freedom and all the choices. They have all to say so. If a woman sees a guy as, being violent, abusive, she's not going to get with him. And if she does get with him, that's her dumbass fault. Because obviously she was in lust. So basically she overlooked it. Or the guy had money. And she wants to stay in that relationship and try to get him for his resources. Get him for his cash. Get him for his materialistic items. Because she's a gold digger. That's what we define as a gold digger. Doing some scandalous shit like that. Look at this. Now they're targeting young boys. Yeah, that's right. Put all the men in the system. So you can get free slave labor. That's right. Give the women more power. Because you like being divided. Yes, you do. You like your division. Anybody who says this is alright, is out of their mind. Anybody who says they're okay with men, being at fault and being only penalized and just being one-sided is a piece of shit, is a parasite. And you like your division, and don't tell me you don't. You love it. You love your double standards because right now you're reaping the benefits of it, but it's going to lead to your own death. And then you wonder why you get killed. And then you got bullshit slogans that says, well, it doesn't justify him killing me. It doesn't justify the person who's really abused. It doesn't justify that person reacting and retaliating and trying to kill that person for all the hurt and anguish and the abuse and trauma that they've been put through. Well, it doesn't justify these bitches and these motherfuckers and these pussy whip vagina males, these pussy whip parasite males and these bitches, going out their way, stereotyping a man out, and then you got these pussy whip males dumping on their own gender just so they can smell it, just to repress the female. You got these two groups, and primarily the feminist females. The bulk of them are all sexist and feminist, and the bulk of them are all feminazis. They talk, it doesn't justify him reacting. What, being a human being? And then you want to call him weak? Why don't you suffer the way he did? Why don't you people live TFL for 20 years and be denied, and be treated like shit, and be discriminated against? Same with you racist motherfuckers. Why don't you get discriminated against? Why don't you get wrongfully penalized, wrongfully arrested, convicted, profiled, targeted, discriminated, get rejected, be at a huge disadvantage for most of your life, and be slandered, and have your character and your image defamed, slandered, and twisted, and misrepresented, where it puts you at a disadvantage, where you're stereotyped out even more. And then talk to me, and think about what you said. Would you like to be looked at as weak? I don't think so. Would you like to be looked at as a whiner? If you don't, shut the fuck up, because you are the whiners. The one who always want to try to suppress this truth are the parasites, because it's not affecting you. And then you wonder why you get reactions like this. Back to, well, there's no excuse for this person to react and kill somebody because of the way they've been treated. That's like, okay, nobody says shit when a woman's been raped or if she's been sexually abused or been abused by her boyfriend and husband, and she decides to pull the fucking trigger. Nobody has shit to say. Well, does it justify her? We can say the same thing. Does it justify her killing her boyfriend, husband, or she was maybe being molested by her mama's boyfriend, being molested by her father, being raped? Does it justify her killing him? And you're gonna give me, well, that's different. No, what is it? What's different about it? There's no difference. The difference is that she got a hole between her legs. The difference is that it's a double standard. The difference is that y'all want to look for excuses because you believe in this crap. He's just a guy. He's an alien. He's a robot. Even though men have built the world for women to benefit and live comfortably and reap female privilege, and women to have their rights and be able to do what women can do whatever the fuck they want to do without worrying about consequences and heartache and pain and suffering. That's why men sacrifice. But the fact thing is, let me ask you women this: is your daddy an alien? When you had that son that came out of your hole, was he an alien? Because how can you have a baby with an alien? The DNA is impossible. A man reproduced you from his loins. So it would make you an alien. That's how dumb you bitches are. Let me tell you, it does justify it. I'll tell you why. What gives you the right to go out your way and hurt somebody for no reason? To treat somebody like crap for no reason? To treat somebody the way you don't want to be treated yourself? Where the fuck do you get this idea it justifies you to go out your way and hurt somebody and feel big and bad about it? But you don't want it done on you. What gives you the right to think that you should be excused for your actions leading to your death? When you create your own killer, you wind up dead based on your ignorance and your arrogance and your immature behavior of stupidity. I'll say it again. It doesn't justify you to go out your way treating somebody the way you don't want to be treated, stereotyping them out, and denying them a life, and feel big about it and say they deserve it and they don't deserve no happiness because you say so, and think that there's going to be no consequences. It doesn't justify you treating somebody like complete dirt, and to put it in layman's terms, it doesn't justify you to abuse somebody constantly and assume that there's going to be no consequences because you believe in this mind state of, well, it doesn't justify him or her, well, mostly him, killing you bitches, killing you pussy with faggot vaginas. There's no excuse for him to kill. Well, there's no excuse for you to do the things that you did that led up to your death. There's no excuse, and it doesn't justify you to treat somebody the way you don't want to be treated and abuse them. And let me tell you this, when you abuse somebody emotionally, mentally, and psychologically, it does way more damage than physical abuse. It does way more damage than you being attacked the first motherfucking time. It lasts forever. It doesn't go away. It's worse than rape. Emotional rape and asexual rape is more damaging than a physical rape. If you don't like it, too fucking bad. It's the truth. So I understand what a rape victim goes through. Okay? Without ever, thank God I didn't have to experience that or be molested as a child like that. But I understand the symptoms. Because when you're emotionally abused, it hurts the same way, but worse, because there's no treatment, no cure. Your mind, you're destroyed. And then that's how it leads to people going over the edge and killing your ass. Or you just become severely, permanently disfigured, like Katie Piper with the acid thrown in her face. Or you just be physically disfigured or have a permanent injury if you live to tell about it. But when you do these things, it doesn't justify you. There's no excuse for you to hurt another human being because they don't look like you, or because they don't have the same beliefs and ideologies. There's no excuse for you to go out your way to do it. There's no excuse for you. So you see how I turn it around? And when you do these things, where it leads to a person going over the edge because they can't take the abuse. Can you take the abuse? If you can't, you're wrong. What, you want us to keep it bottled up inside and take the abuse and the oppression and the injustice so you can be fucking happy, so you can be smiled, but we can't be happy? Fuck you. It leads to your death. That's why you get killed. It's common sense. You know it's the truth. You know it's common sense. But you want to be a fucking ignorant, irresponsible child. But you want to be respected as an adult. Well, to be respected as an adult, you may be an adult by age, by number, but when you're actually defined as a man and you're defined as a woman and an adult by your decisions, your choices, and the way you conduct yourself and the way you treat and interact people. Most of y'all are children because you can't put 2 and 2 together. You cannot. You don't have the answer for 1 plus 1. It equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay? You can't do basic math. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. You can't do no basic math. Or you can't do no take away. You can't do no dividing. You don't understand equations. When you treat people like crap and think that you should be excused for it and it's justified because you looked at somebody because they're not the status quo, or you heard some fucking gossip. Like you ain't got no skeletons. Right if it's true or not. Chances are it's mostly say so. Were you there? Were you right there? Were you in their shoes? Did you know what happened? Or you just going off of fucking gossip by some motherfucker who doesn't even know themselves and they're just regurgitating BS. I mean, if you want to know the truth, ask the person. And, do yourself a favor. Why don't you let the person that you question find out the honest truth? It's none of your business. Besides, how about you let them ask your personal skeletons? How about we ask you what's your personal flaws and faults? What did you do that was not honorable, nor what you're not proud of? You have done some dumb shit that you're not proud of, but you want to judge somebody else. That doesn't matter how severe and how ugly it is, how severe and how painful it is, or rather if it's immoral, rather if it's legal or not, whether you did something illegal or not. You have no right to judge. There's people who do immoral things that are considered crimes. In other countries, there's things that are crimes, but they're not enforced the way they should be because of the status quo. Because when you're undesirable, you don't get no breaks, even if you're innocent. When you are desirable, oh, you get a free pass in life. You get a second chance, and another one, and another one. Like I said before, you have done some foul shit, but the people who I find who do some immoral shit, who want to judge somebody else by their past, by their history and their records and shit, they're the most greasy scum bucket motherfuckers I ever met. They're the biggest scumbags and the biggest hypocrites, because these people who want to judge you are the biggest criminals. They're always criminal. And chances are people who came from bad circumstances, or they got a strike on the record, chances are it's not their fault, because you live in a crooked, evil ass society where you got to deal with crooked cops, crooked government, crooked banks. Well, you got to deal with people who run law enforcement are criminals, and they make up the rules as they go, and they will do anything to put you in to arrest you and put you in a slammer and put you in jail and money laundering or give you a citation, ticket you for no fucking reason, and twist the events around with a little bit of truth, lies, some truth, some lies. Twist the facts with truth. Tell the truth, add something to it. Tell a lie, add the truth. Tell sprinkles of truth here. Mix them up with a key lie. Take a key fact and exaggerate it. And misrepresent the truth, and then add some lies and flip the truth around for their own benefit, so they can use it against you. And that's what happens. So, like I said again, if you wasn't there, you don't know, so you can't judge. I don't care if a motherfucker killed 10 people. I'm still giving the motherfucker the benefit of the doubt, because I can't judge. But you want to go judging somebody else. And most of the time, it's not even that. It's based on the way you look and the way you talk a certain way. Because your mannerism is different from the group. From these group of people right there. Oh, and because you don't think like them, oh, they think you're inferior. Ignorant, immature BS. And by you mistreating this person and going off of some slander, and you want to judge and try to use it against them so you can feel all big, it justifies you being killed. It justifies your death. When you create your own killer, you wind up dead. That's the truth. And I'll show you why right now. I am not playing around. I want you to take a look at this parasite right here, right now. You see my mouse? I'm going to read you an article. I'm going to take a little break for a minute. Let's get rolling. A needed apology. Yeah, right. I left John, my boyfriend of 2 years, and ignored him for 3 weeks while his heart was broken into pieces. And he was failing his midterms because he was getting 2 hours of sleep a night and only be able to eat peanut butter during the few hours a day. And he wasn't sick to his stomach. And when all he wanted to do, get through the pain, was to talk to me and see my face again. That's why she loves her power. But I wouldn't even give him that. I went up, so basically she played with his emotions and feelings. I went out and partied and whored and I slept with a bunch of men. Got so many dicks in my hole. I'm being serious actually, and facetious, but it's the truth. I went out and partied all that at night, going to clubs and lingerie parties with other guys. Well, I knew he was sitting alone in his room until 5 in the morning, crying over me. He was sitting alone in the room until 5 in the morning, crying over me for 3 weeks straight. Then tonight at a party, I pulled Dor Rubin, the guy I told John I left for him, right for I. This is the bad boy. Or some rich jerk guy I told John I left him for. Right up behind John's back so I could make out with Dor and break up with my ex-boyfriend's heart into pieces. Although it was like I was like that already. So she wanted to create her own killer. Once again, I used another guy to break John's heart. Just like I did when I kissed one of John's friends the night I was John's date for senior prom. So she really wanted to get killed. But now I have turned into the exact person I promised John I would never become. No, you didn't promise him nothing. You were just talking bullshit. You were making false promises that you had no intention of keeping, and you was gonna do whatever you wanted to. You was gonna do whatever you wanted to do because you're that evil. That's why I say let the bombs drop and have them kill us all. We need to die out. For 2 of the most important years of my life, it's all about me, isn't it? I was John's Barbu, his Jew baby, and everything to him. But over the past month, I have done everything in my power to crush his soul because I'm an evil, psychotic, sadistic, succubus bitch. I have succeeded. I have succeeded in creating my own killer. In fact, I have done many more things to intentionally hurt him that I don't have room for here. My worst nightmare was, well, it hasn't come yet. Your worst nightmare is about when you're going to get killed. Was always that John would leave me and start hooking up with other people right away. No, that's not going to happen. He's going to kill you first. Then probably kill himself, or he'll be locked up in jail. But chances are he's going to kill you, then take his life. And so basically, both of them. So we have 2 dead people, and it's your fault, bitch. And it's your fault. Right here, it's your fault. You have, in fact, I've done many more things to intentionally hurt him that I don't have room for here. My worst nightmare was always that John would leave me and start hooking up with other people right away. So basically, you wanted him to treat you the way you were treating him the way you wanted him to treat you the way he wouldn't want you to treat him back. But you treated him the exact opposite of the way you would like to be treated. Instead, I made that nightmare come true for him. And I have assured that he can never look back over those 2 years of memories we had. 2 years of spending almost every single day together. So playing with his emotions and feelings without feeling anything but pain and sadness. Now he is pathetic. No, you're pathetic, bitch. Just like I tell him on the phone, if he tries to call me, he barely has any friends in our fraternity. So basically, he's an undesirable, and he's not the status quo. And you're getting with some frat boy who has money. His parents is rich. He's loaded. Mommy and daddy bought him an expensive car and bought him his own beach house, his own place. And chances are he may go back to his parents, go work in his dad's business or get hooked up with one of his networks. Let me continue. So that's what you're a gold digger. That's what we call gold diggers. Instead of just building with him. Which women don't want to build. They want stuff handed to them. They want it right now. Because he spent his entire semester trying with everything he had to fix our relationship. And I told him I was doing the same. But you lied to him. But that was a lie. I caught that. Which I admit to him now. I loved him. He loved me unconditionally, and that was sad, man. You shouldn't have done that, but I know you loved her. In fact, that I, for some reason, was seeing him heartbroken makes me happy because you're an evil, spiteful, vindictive, low-life, parasite, cunt, bitch. I slept with a new guy less than a week. Well, God, you're a slut. I mean, how many diseases do you have? After the last time I had sex with my ex-boyfriend, and now he has to see me with this other guy every week at every party he goes on to. And every time that happens, I make sure to rub it in his face. So I want him to hit me and beat me so I can call the cops on him so he can go to jail and get prison raped. No, he's not going to do that. And he's not going to yell and scream at you because that's a crime now. He's going to kill you. I have broken every promise I ever made to him because you're that insensitive and that unreliable and that selfish. Revealed so many lies. I've revealed so many lies in our relationship that, based on honesty, that still isn't enough for me. I don't know why. He never cheated on me, and always honest and caring. Told me how beautiful I was every day. And no, you're ugly. See, evil hides behind a good-looking mask. This is all evil. Was my best friend. I needed him to be supportive in everything I did. I know he even would have given his life if it meant saving me. I wouldn't. Even though for all my friends tell me it's okay and to do what I'm doing. Yeah, create your own killer. I know in my heart it's not. It is not. I know John could never hurt another human being, especially someone he dated for 2 years. So, oh yeah, it doesn't justify him killing you, and there's no excuse for him killing you. Well, there is an excuse now because you gave it to him for your own fucking ignorance because you created your own killer. I know John could never hurt another human being, especially someone he dated for 2 years, and in ways I have hurt him over the past month. He has a D in 2 classes because his midterms he failed right after I left him. And he has to transfer out of the apartment he has in the building right next to mine, and will probably drop the fraternity because I proved tonight I will go out on my way to hurt him. If he stays in, I am writing this to say I'm sorry to my ex-boyfriend. You're not sorry, bitch. Since This is the only apology he will ever get. The saddest part, it means nothing to me because I'm sleeping at doors tonight, which I made sure John heard before I left. Wow. John is spending another night heartbroken because of me. And you're proud to create your own fucking killer. And this is what happens when you create your own killer. You see this? Come on. Come on.
Tonight, Knoxville police are investigating the death of a pregnant woman in northwest Knoxville. This morning, a 25-year-old woman was found dead at the Cross Creek Apartments off Western Avenue. Knoxville police say the death is suspicious. 10 News reporter Mary Scott is live at the scene, joins us with the very latest. Mary?
John, Knoxville police believe a 25-year-old woman was murdered. Her body was found just here inside her home at Cross Creek Apartments. It's just right off Western Avenue. And while we don't know her identity yet, we do know that she was 8.5 months pregnant. When she didn't show up for work today, her employer asked her mother to come check on her. When her mother got here, she found her daughter dead inside the bedroom. Police just released this afternoon that they are investigating it as a homicide because they believe it was suspicious. While the crime scene is down and the police left just a half hour ago, they say they're still conducting interviews and processing the evidence. Right now they're currently performing the autopsy. Of course, that's going to reveal the cause of death. Just as soon as we get all of that information from the police, we'll pass it along to you.
Mary, appreciate the update. The Knox.
So basically, she wants this. This is what she wants. She wants it to happen again. Because that's what happens when you do evil stuff like this. Akron police are investigating second double homicide this week after a man and a woman were shot in a driveway on Grant Street this morning. Thursday morning, I'm sorry. The bodies were discovered at 8 a.m., 6 hours after police responded to the same area for the shooting that sent a man to the hospital. 24-year-old Patrick Griffin is in serious condition after the 2 a.m. shooting. The names of the man and woman who were killed have not been released. Police Captain Dan Zampelli says detectives are looking into whether the two incidents may relate. Zampelli says there have been 8 people shot in the 5 days in the city, which have died. He says he can't recall such a large number of homicides in a short period in Akron. Now, this is legit. You know, she looks like her. That's right. Yeah, this is what's gonna happen to her likely. If she keeps doing this is what's gonna happen to her. Amanda Belly's Rendelli's family desperately tried to get her away from her abusive husband. They encouraged the 28-year-old woman to move from Naples to Arizona, where they lived, to put the distance between the couple. My mom has told her so many times to get away, said her sister, Leah Miller, 35. She kept saying, I love him. I love drama. I love to run shit. I love drama. I love blaming it back on the guy because I'm a secret man hater. I want to get with my drama, my bad boy, because of the fact that I can always blame it back on him and justify why I'm sexist, why I am a man hater. On Tuesday night in Phoenix, Anthony Randali, 26, shot his wife in their home and left her 2 sons alone and turned himself into the police. She's definitely dead. Rinaldi told officer he flagged down. According to the arrest report, I put 2 on the chest and 1 on the head. The couple met 2.5 years ago, where Belly's Ali grew up. Her mother, Pamela Bellies of Arizona, said Thursday in a phone interview, Bellies Randali and her twin brother John Bellies attended Boren Collier High School. They left after the junior year to study chemistry. She and Anthony Reynolds knew each other briefly, where she became pregnant in 2009. Her mother said 3 months later they married in Naples, where Rendelli, on the military leave from his duties, has an army sniper blasted in Germany. Army based in Germany. Yeah, that's why she decided to give him a life and take it away. Their son Anthony was born in March 2010, 6 years after Rendelli's first son, Ali done. There was little love lost between the Rendelli's family and her husband. He kept yelling and cursing at her, Miller said. Well, that's because she started it. She initiated the violence. She pushed his buttons. Collier County Court records show that in May 2010, Bellies Rendelli filed a petition against her soon-to-be ex-husband and obtained a temporary order of protection for her and her sons, but it was dismissed when she didn't show up at the hearing. Well, that's because, you know why she probably didn't show up? Because of the fact that she had some other stuff. She could have had some ugly information that he knew of her and could have exposed her. That's why she didn't show up, probably. Her petition said Rendelli slammed his fist through the walls, broke the door and light switches, and smashed a box of glasses and plant pots near the East Naples home on Sandusky Drive. She attached photos of the damage. That's right, try to make him out to be the villain when you started it. Most of the time you did, and you know it. He has said, I don't know what goes in his head. Oh, she does know. She's pushing his buttons. That's why she knows that, and she's plain dumb. He wouldn't be exploding for no reason, okay? She's fighting with him, and he's fighting back. He has killed people, and it's nothing to him to do so. Bellies Rendelli wrote, and adding that he told her that he abused his prescription killers and steroids and had post-traumatic stress disorder from the military. Well, in that aspect, there's some truth to that. But she probably took it to the next level, though. She likely took it to the next level. After a fight that month over the move of Arizona, she said, he punched the wall. He went to his elder sons because I was encouraged. He was awake and heard everything. He was indeed said, Dad's mad again. He scares me. Bellies Rendelli's mother said, They begged her to leave. She tried to break free. No, I mean, she didn't try hard enough. She stayed with him, for drama. She went to Arizona with her sons and obtained a child care lease and ran a daycare at home. But Anthony Randall followed. She was scared of him, but she wanted it to work. Please. Well, you don't create drama to make it. First of all, if you don't know what love is, and if you don't know what the fuck you're doing in the dating scene, how can it work? You can't make something work if it's not meant to work. You have to get to know each other the right way and be with each other for the right reasons. You can't make something work when it's not meant to work. If you don't take the time to get to know somebody for who they are, and chances are she tried to change him. If you can't accept him for who he is, don't be with him. But now she's trying to demonize him and her family. She was so strong. Yeah, that's why she created her own killer. Because she's strong, and that's why she's dead. And it just said at Belly's Renderly's, who worked at Tommy Bahama's and Roy's restaurant. She fought for her life, and she overcame cancer, and the man just took it away. Yeah, make her have to be the victim. It's not one-sided. When a person is in an abusive relationship, it can be difficult to discern how bad the problems are. That's bullshit, said Mary Ann Jean, spokeswoman of the Shelter of Abused Women and Children. But there's no abuse shelters for abused men and children. See how it's divided? See, this is how it leads to violence, domestic violence, division. We love your division. The most of the dangerous times, she said, when victims say they want to leave or make plans. You want to believe somebody's going to change if you love them, Green said, but it's really hard once you're in that cycle. There you go, trying to change him, and if he did change, he's weak. And she'll leave him anyway. You can read the rest of this. It's a long article. But, I mean, it's out of the bag. 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 Let me just finish it anyway, since it's long. She got out of the house. Pamela Bella said, and she's going to file for divorce papers. He kept begging her not to do it. Don't take my kids away. And don't extort money out of me. And don't take me for child support and try to make me this horrible parent so you can get custody of the kids because you got a hole between your legs. She wouldn't have any money or benefits. Oh, poor her. Rendelli returned around Thanksgiving. On Tuesday, after arguing over the credit card he took from her, Dallas Rendelli began decorating the Christmas trees. Anthony Rendelli asked to stop and then called Belly, screaming at her daughter and won't stop, and it was ruining the moment. Belly said wanted to call the police, however the daughter asked not. It'll just make it worse. She recalls saying, police reports show around 6:30 p.m. their local time. 7-year-old Endo made a call telling the dispatcher his mom and stepfather were physically fighting. He had heard boom boom in the garage within an hour. Rendelli's body and her husband was jailed for a second-degree murder charge. The arrest said Anthony Rendelli had control issues, history of domestic violence, and history of violence against children and animals. The list possible mental issues, including mentally PTSD. Police told her he snapped, and his military training kicked in. Pamela Belly's in the said the conflicts, the history and domestic violence of her daughter suffered. The final thing Belly said, he did take her away because he hated us all. Pamela Bellies now has custody of the children. Memorial services is being held in Arizona, Naples. Staff reporter Jeff Carpenter contributed this report. And that's the end of that. That's right. You're like your bad boy. See, that's your bad boy. And I don't know why you're complaining. This is what happens when you go after drama. So this is what happens when you give women so much power, where they can behave any old kind of way, like this bitch, and then you wonder why it happens again.
Now to the stabbing on a Southgate school campus. The victim, a 17-year-old girl, died from her injuries last night. The stabbing happened at Southeast High School yesterday during the lunch hour. Eyewitness News reporter Melissa McBride is live in Southgate, where the victim's ex-boyfriend was arrested. Melissa.
Rita Bay, good morning. 18-year-old Abraham Lopez is in jail this morning. He's charged with murder and is being held without bail. Authorities accuse him of stabbing 17-year-old Cindy Santana here on campus. There's still some crime scene tape that remains in the area where this happened. Now, students say the two had been dating but were broken up and had a fight at lunchtime yesterday. Witnesses say Lopez punched Santana in the face, choked her, and then started stabbing her. The attack happened in front of dozens of students. A varsity football player and a female dean tried to subdue Lopez and suffered cuts. One student I talked to says that she saw blood and saw a friend of Santana's holding her hand on the ground. Santana was transported to St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood and died last night from her stab wounds.
I feel bad for the family and all the friends. Like, she's gone but never forgotten. I didn't know her, but like, all my respects are to her, and I wish that wouldn't have happened, and I wish there was more security in our school.
Many parents hurried to the campus after receiving text messages from their children about the stabbing. The school was put on lockdown. Grief counselors are going to be here on Monday to be available for students and staff. The counselors are also going to be made available to Cindy Santana's family. Lopez remains in jail, and he will be in court to make his first appearance to answer to that murder charge on Tuesday. Reporting live in Southgate, I'm Melissa McBride, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
That kind of behavior that I showed you with this bitch's Facebook post does not justify any consequences on her side that which she inflicted onto this person, but she would not like it done on her. And you mean to tell me that the actions that she is causing isn't creating her own killer? Are you just that dumb? Or you're just that biased? I mean, the actions she's taking and what she's doing by her unacceptable behavior, she's gonna wind up dead one day. And many bitches like her will wind up dead one day. You can abuse somebody for so long until they snap. No, keep doing it. Keep abusing. Keep creating your own killer. I mean, it does. You see the justification where that requires, murder. It's going to lead to murder. It doesn't justify what she's doing at all. There's no excuse for what she's doing at all. Being mean to somebody for no reason. I don't understand why women are very mean to guys who are kind to them, who are sweet to them, and care about them. It just tells me that feminism has corrupted their minds. They need to be taken off their pedestal, which is happening, and it will happen. I mean, the virus had attacked and destroyed the human brain. This is what leads to it happen again. She will wind up dead, like many other women will wind up dead. She'll be another statistic, and then she'll ask, then the family will be like, poor her, poor her. But no one will care about the poor guy. Oh, because he's an alien. When the fact is, her actions caused her death and his death, because he was already killed. She abused this guy emotionally, mentally, and psychologically, constantly, every day. He did not deserve it. And don't you tell me, well, he picked her. No, she picked him for a little bit, and when she was done using him, she threw him away and moved on to her next. She had all kinds of guys come at her, and she rejected the guy, and she rejected and went for what had her hole dripping on the floor. She went with the pretty toy. She went for what she liked. It's like having a plate of food, all the varieties, and she had a salad. She had good food, good wholesome food, good healthy food, naturally organic grown fruits and vegetables, and healthy meats that are farm raised. And she had all this food, all this variety. She had a buffet of food that she can eat and enjoy, and that will give her good health. And what did she pick? She picked McDonald's. She picked Taco Bell, KFC, fried chicken, and she took some candy and a bunch of junk food that was not good for her body. And remember, we keep eating those kinds of food, these disgusting processed foods, instead of the naturally healthy grown organic food, and no good wholesome foods that are good for you. If you don't eat healthy, what happens? You get sick. So that's how women are when it comes to the dating scene. They like their junk food. They like the bad boy. They want to eat potato chips. They want to eat candy and a bunch of chocolate, Reese's Pieces, Kit Kat. Instead of going for your salad, your protein, which is your chicken, your turkey, your beef. Then your dessert, which is fruits. Your fruits. And healthy raised milk, and naturally herbal tea. She rejected the healthy meal for McDonald's. And whose fault is that? And that's what you women do. You love your junk food. You're like a child. You hate the food that's good for you, but you like that poisonous junk food that will kill you at the end. You treat the food that's good for you, you treat like shit. You don't value it. You don't appreciate it until it's gone. Until one day they had to cut your arm off because you got diabetes. One day your foot is missing. You wonder why you got high blood pressure. You wonder why your hair is falling out your head. You wonder why your head's falling out your head. You wonder why you got blindness all of a sudden. You can't function. You're tired all the time. You're overweight. You know, all them nasty poisonous substances such as drugs you were ingesting. Snorting cocaine here and there. And then at the end, when you're all busted and shit, now you want to eat healthy. Guess what? It's too late. And then you wonder, and then you want to cry and bitch about life not being fair, and you're lonely and you can't find a good guy. When the fact is, you had every guy came your way, and it was obvious, but you did not value it. You wanted the quick fix. You wanted that sugar high and that salt high. You wanted your sweets. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too, and you can't in the real world. You can't. And then you wonder why you're sick and laying up in some bed, and nobody's there. You have no visitors. You're alone in some nursing home, and you're getting abused. You're getting molested. You're getting beaten, and you want the people to care, and you lost your looks. Now you are the undesirable. So think about that. And this is why, I mean, chances are you're not going to live, and you're not going to live that, you're not going to reach your 50s and 60s and your senior years. You're not. You know why? Because when this war happens, and then the fracking, the economic collapse and civil unrest, and we're more bloodshed, more wars, bombs, and let the bombs drop. Then the land caving in, beat with floods, by design, business plan. That's what the elites wanted. And then when you need help, and you're dragged to concentration camps, and you're getting raped alive and screaming for help, nobody's gonna help you. No, that nice guy that you treated like shit all these years, nobody's gonna help you. They're gonna be like, you're strong and independent, fight back. And then you're gonna be mad at us when you should be mad at yourself. And let the bombs drop. We need to take out the trash and get rid of these parasites. And please, happen right now. Just happen soon. Get it over with. And put us out of. We need to be put out of our misery. Hurry up. I'm out. Peace.